How's it going, guys? Andrew here with Justified EDC. No review or anything today. This is just going to be showing off some stuff. I got one knife back from being modified, and I just got this guy in today. Both happen to be very traditional American style knives, both made in the USA. So I figured I'd show them off at the same time, just to show you the work that was done on this one, and I will be doing a review on this. So it kind of, it came after I just did my last new knives and gear video. So I don't even know what I'm going to title this video. It's more just a, show and tell. So it's not going to be very long, most likely, unless I catch myself rambling like I'm doing right now. But we'll get into these right here really quickly. But first, as always, we got to thank the sponsor of the channel, Auxiliary Manufacturing. Mike over at Auxiliary Manufacturing is making awesome custom-made, USA-made fixed blades, like this Pocket Bowie here, or this Sumi model. This one happens to be like my my desk knife I use for all kind of little like cutting tasks around my bench and stuff like that. Great knives. Mike is an awesome guy. He's been helping me get some stuff for the channel, send stuff in for review, all that good stuff. He will be at Blade Show, so at the time of filming this, it should be like probably a day before Blade Show starts. So when this goes live, if you're interested in any of these, definitely go check him out at Blade Show. I do also have a discount code with him, Justified10, will get you 10% off your order on his website. So I will leave links down below to all that good stuff, and we are back to the video. No video sponsor today, so we were just going to get right into this. All right, so actually, we'll move this out of the way first. This, if you remember, this is my Kabar Trapper. So this was a old production Kabar back when Kabar was still making some of their slip joints in the US. So here, if I open this up, you can see Kabar USA right on there, old timer trapper's knife. So kind of the other interesting thing here is this is an old-timer branded knife. A lot of knives have used the old-timer nomenclature over the years. I know Schrade has done it. I know I think Case had an old-timer series at one point. Kabar, old-timer, was kind of its own brand for a little bit. So I kind of want to do a deep dive into the history of all that, but just thought it was interesting here, old-timer trapper's knife. But this is one of the old production K-bars that was made in the US, is in carbon steel. I'm not exactly sure what the carbon steel is. I'm not sure if it was just the high polish that the blade had on it, or if it's the kind of steel it was, but it took a little bit for it to start developing a patina. Like you can see here, it's starting to take a patina, but it did take a little while. Sometime with really high polished blades that can happen. Or it could be something like a D2 that doesn't take a patina as quickly. So I'm not sure. Because this is an older model, my guess is this is probably some kind of like 1095, and just the polish on it took a little bit longer to patina, but it's just your standard full-size trapper. You have your spay blade and your clip blade. Now, what's special about this is that I sent this off to a company called Box Creek Knife Company. It's a single guy doing his thing here. He has a couple. I think he has a couple custom models. I know he has at least one custom model that's fully made by him, but he also does a lot of recovers and mods on slip joints and traditional knives and stuff like that. So I had seen him do one where he had he had replaced some scales or covers with stag, and I wanted to get this recovered here. Let me see if I can find real quick. So these were the covers that were on the K-bar. They were just like a faux bone. They're probably just some kind of Delrin or something like that were machined to look like bone. So these were the covers that were on it. Had the little K-bar shield in there, and they were fine. They weren't brittle. They didn't look terrible. Like as faux bone goes, I didn't mind the look of these. And also, these did not have half stops. Like the walk and talk was good, the pull was good, the solid back springs and all that, but it didn't have half stops, which I really wanted. So when I found his work and I saw him do some stag, I hit him up and it was like, hey, can you recover my trapper here with some stag covers, and then add some half stops? So now both of these blades have half stops. Which is excellently done, and he put these gorgeous stag scales on here. These are real stag. I forget what the supplier he uses for those are, but they are, they're real, and they look absolutely gorgeous. He did a pretty good job of matching them. I absolutely, especially love the show side of this one. I just think it looks so good. He polished up the bolsters. Actually, the blade centering is better after he put these back together as well, too, so that's pretty cool. But the walk and talk is great now. I love having the half stops on there. This actually, for a while, before I got these covers and everything on it, this is kind of like my camp kitchen knife. Between this knife and this here, my Green River Works, these were kind of like my camp kitchen knives. So I would use, you know, this one just around camp to do whatever, you know, cutting task, and then I would save my spay blade kind of as my like steak knife or my eating knife. So I had my little camp fork, and then the spay blade was kind of my food knife, and then I used this to do some cooking with. So I'm probably going to start carrying this guy a little bit more for EDC because I absolutely love it. But you know, stag is a natural material. Deer antlers are out in the water and all the elements. So I have no reason to believe this won't hold up to still doing camp use. So I will definitely take this on my future camping trips. But I just wanted to show this off. Again, Box Creek Knife Company. I will leave links to his Instagram page down below. He did absolutely awesome work. For a really fair price. For these covers and for adding the half stops, it was $140 and just a couple weeks of turnaround time. So very happy with that. I just have this in this generic leather slip that I've used for a bunch of different stuff over the months, but I kind of want to get a custom slip made for this now, maybe even like a leather slip with like one of the small discreet carry concepts clips, so I can actually just pocket carry this and just pull it out from the top of my pocket. We'll see. But I just really, I'm absolutely blown away by how good this looks. I absolutely love it. So I wanted you guys to see it, because you'll definitely be seeing it more on the channel. As you guys know, I use the full-size Trapper as a size comparison a lot, so you'll definitely be seeing this more, and I wanted you guys to go check out Box Creek because he did awesome work. So the next thing here is this. I kind of forgot this knife existed, and then when I remembered, I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool, because, again, I've been on a quest to make a video on budget USA-made knives for a while, and the problem is there's not a whole lot of them. So, you know, like some of the Bucks, there's a couple Kershaws, the case knives, obviously, Bear & Son. There's a couple companies that still do some budget U.S. production for their folders, and obviously here's a fixed blade, but there's not a whole lot of them out there. So this is an old-timer branded knife, and again, I could be wrong, someone can correct me. I think this is a iteration of Schrade. I know Schrade has like old-timer knives that are made in China, but these are the old-timer generational series. So these are, as you can see right there, USA made. As far as I know, I reviewed the old-timer generational Bruin, which is like the Sodbuster lockback a while ago. Great knife, kind of hit or miss on the QC, which again, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same way. But when you get a good one, really, really good knives. They're made by Bear & Son here in the U.S., which, you know, Bear & Son's kind of known for hit or miss QC. When they nail it, they really nail it, and when they don't, they flop hard. So this is the old-timer Sharpfinger, the generational series. So this is a U.S. production. And you can see the 1520 TG is the model number, I'm assuming, the 1095 high carbon. So this is a carbon steel blade, really nice polish. These are real bone handles. They look pretty good. No cracking or anything around the pins. The fit and finish is pretty decent. No gapping or anything like that. As you can see, if I kind of hold it like this, the tang comes up a little bit past the scales in some places, but not enough for it to be uncomfortable. This is a very comfortable knife to hold. If you've ever held a Sharpfinger, they're very well designed knives. You know, they were originally intended for, you know, skinning knives. So you have that long exaggerated clip point to be able to skin out a game animal. You have that pointy acute clip point to be able to pierce hide. You have the section right here to put your thumb on if you're working it. You can, you know, get up and get your finger up to that tip there to do finer work. I do wish that these scales tapered down towards the ricasso there, so you could use it in a pinch grip like this a little bit better. But the handle is short enough that I can kind of just grab the top of the scales there and work it like that. So, you know, if I end up going hunting, I haven't been able to hunt in a little bit just because of life and my work schedules and everything, but I'd like to get back out for archery season this year. So if I do, I am going to take this and actually try it out as a skinning knife. but I also just absolutely love the exaggerated clip point on this, kind of like an upswept feel. But it's not enough, like the way the handle is angled, you know, we'll do our center line test here. So the way that the handle is aligned and how you're holding it, the tip actually still is above or right at the center line, you know, depending how you orient the handle, but that's kind of like straight up and down, and the tip still is above the center line. So I kind of want to carry this for EDC. Like, it is easy enough to get that tip down and, you know, cut on table. You got some flat here for your push cuts, you have some belly for your pull cuts. You know, you can still get down and cut on a table with that belly. And in a reverse grip, because that tip is above the center line, you know, you could do some work with this if you needed to. Now, the problem with carrying this is this sheath. And, you know, this is not a review. Like I said, I haven't even, you know, I wanted to do a paper cut test here for you guys on camera before I went any further. So the edge, whoops, I caught that a little bit there, but the edge did come pretty sharp. I'm doing a bad job of showing it now. Right before I started, this was cutting pretty well. I think it's just a really, really toothy edge because, you know, I had it cutting paper really well before I started filming, but, you know, I'm probably just going to run this over the coarse or the fine ceramic stones and maybe over a strop. The edge did come pretty even, and it feels very, very bitey. You know, I cut some of the cardboard that the package came in, and it did slice very well. This is a hollow ground knife, so very thin behind the edge. You know, 1095 takes a pretty toothy edge, but, you know, I'll touch it up so, you know, we can get a bit more paper sharp. But anyways, back to the sheath. The sheath is the quality in terms of like the build quality, like it's nicely molded, the leather's nice and thick, it's not double stitched, but the stitching is nice. Like, it's not a bad quality sheath. The design though, absolute garbage. I hate this sheath. One, I just hate retention straps like this because, again, you open them and then you try to put the knife in it, and, you know, the knife gets in the way, the straps get in the way of trying to get the knife in. Same thing when you're trying to get it out, then, you know, you pop the strap and then you pull it. I'm definitely going to end up cutting one of these straps as I pull this knife out at one of these points. I mean, you can already see there the knife is rubbing on that strap. So I hate knife designs like this. I wish I could just take this off and use the sheath as is, but the problem is there's zero retention on this. The handle doesn't even go inside this molded piece for the blade. The blade barely fits inside. So, you know, when you have this strapped, which is a pain in the ass. I absolutely hate this sheath. I'm definitely not going to be carrying it in this sheath. You know, if this, you know, you are going to be carrying it vertically on your belt, but if you have to like move or do any weird positions, like all of a sudden there's exposed edge because there's no retention on the sheath. The only thing keeping it in this sheath is this strap. So it's not a good sheath. I'm not going to carry in this. Absolutely hate this thing. Thankfully, if you watched my last new Knives and Gear video, this Crossroad Custom here with this Offensive Industry sheath is dimensionally pretty similar in overall, I'll set them down next to each other, pretty dimensionally similar in overall length, but most importantly in handle thickness, very similar. So I actually can run this in the Offensive Industry sheath that this knife came with. So, you know, good retention. It's not coming out, no rattle. It works in both directions. If you do hear rattling, that's my dog tags and my cross here rattling. It's not my it's not the sheath. But so I'm probably going to be carrying it in this. You know, thankfully the size is close enough that, you know, if I do it in reverse, I can absolutely get in here, hold it in reverse grip. I can put it in this way, easily draw back into your, like, a utility grip. So I'm probably going to be carrying it in this Offensive Industry sheath because I absolutely hate this. I'm not opposed to trying a vertical carry leather sheath, but every time I get a knife that has a vertical carry leather sheath, it's absolute shit tier garbage, and it doesn't work. So you know, just not a big fan of carrying that way, but, you know, if someone ever wants to design a sheath that, you know, carries like this and doesn't suck, feel free to send it my way. I'll try it out. But anyways, guys, that is my that is all I have for you today. I just wanted to show this and this off. You know, I thought that they were both interesting, you know, like very classic American designs. You know, you have a Sharpfinger and a Trapper, both classic American hunting knives, things that, you know, probably a lot of us watched our grandfathers or our dads use. And, you know, we've seen the old versions of them. So I just wanted to show these off. Again, please go check out Box Creek Knife Company. He did amazing work on my Trapper here. Definitely want to show support to him. I'll leave a link to this here. This is on Amazon. If I didn't mention, this is like just under 70 bucks, so like 60 something depending on the price for a USA made carbon steel fixed blade. So pretty cool if you can find an alternative to the sheath. But I'll leave links to all this down in the description. Please leave me any comments, questions, concerns you have down in the comment section. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.